Good good morning, everyone. And now let's discuss together how to graph other trigonometric functions. We discussed already in the previous videos, like how to graph sine and cosine. Now let's discuss how to graph tan and cotan function. Let's start with tan and cotan. After that, we will take a secant and cosecant. So let's say here that I have this function y equals a, which is lowercase of a, tan bx. Okay, and here I have y equals a cotan bx. Okay, first of all, here there's something like there are like like a lot of common things between those two functions. So let's start with the first one. No amplitude here. What's the meaning of amplitude? Maximum and minimum. That means I don't have here, like a previous one, there is like an amplitude for sine and cosine. Here, no amplitude at all. Regarding to the period here will be pi instead of 2 pi in sine cosine. Pi over b. Okay, here this is pi over b. After that, domain here will be all real numbers except the vertical asymptote. And we will try here to investigate together how we can get the equation for the vertical asymptote. Range here will be all real numbers. That means I don't have any restrictions. And do I have here midline or something like that? No. But keep in your mind that if I ask you about the frequency equals what? The frequency here equals 1 over, okay, this is mine, like mean characteristics for each. Okay, now let's discuss how to graph using the table first of all. So we are going to create the same table here and there, but for sure y will be different. Okay, here I have this one also. So for sure y will be different. Okay, so here this is x and this is y. This is tan, which is leader, and this is cotan, which is another leader. So how we are going to divide our table? 0 will be in the middle instead of starting with 0 as we've done in x and y. Sorry, in sine and cosine. So here this is also x and y. I'm going to start in the middle here with 0. Then 1 over 4 times the period, whatever you've got here, you are going to write it down there. And here this is 2 over 4 times the period. The same thing here, negative 1 over 4 times the period, negative 1 over, or 2, sorry, I mean, it's the same thing, honestly. 2 over 4 times the period. Whatever you've got in the period, you can write it down directly. Here, 1 over 4 times the period, and here also 2 over 4 times the period. Here, negative 1 over 4 times the period, and here also negative 2 over 4 times the period. Okay, what do I have here? What's the period? You can just write it directly as it is. No need to waste your time. You are going to just write it directly, then simplify the equation, simplify the value. The same thing here, the same thing here. But for sure, the difference between them will be in what? In the y values, excellent. So let's see here, what do I have? Yes, this is tan, which is here the leader. If you remember here in the unit circle, we had this open circle and this also open circle. So that means here I have vertical asymptotes. Here I have vertical asymptotes. And in the middle here, I have 0. And here I have a, and this is negative a. Okay? Here in cotan, each x-intercept will be what? Vertical asymptote. And each vertical asymptote will be what? X-intercept. Yes. So this one, the first one was x-intercept, so it's going to be 0 here, x-intercept, and here it's going to be negative a, 0, positive a, and here this is 0. Pay attention that we said here if we are going to change the x-intercept, it's gonna be vertical asymptote. Okay, so this is the new thing. This is here my vertical asymptote. Okay, after that, what do I have to do? Yes, see here, what do I have to do? Regarding to the graph, I have, this is my x-axis and this is my y. This is here 0. I have, whatever you've got here, you can just write it down. Pi over 4b. Then here I have pi over 2b and so on. And here also pi over 4b. Negative, there's negative. And here also negative 2 pi over b. 4b and so on. Or you can just use this one. So it's negative pi over 4b, negative 2 pi over 4b, negative 3 pi over 4b, and so on, which is the same thing. Then after that, what do I have to do? I'm going to graph, first of all, my asymptote to know how is the shape of the function. As you can see, this is my function. Okay, approximately. Yeah. This, how many times this repeated? Like it repeats for an infinite time. Regarding to cotan, how is the graph? The same thing, same story. We are going just to repeat it. Pay attention that here we started from right to left, right? Like this way. But here I have, this is 0. This is pi over 4b. 2 pi over 4b. 3 pi over 4b and so on. So 2 pi, which is basically pi over 2. Here also negative pi over 4b, negative 2 pi over 4b, and the same thing here also 3 pi over b, 4b, the same thing here. Okay, where is my vertical asymptote? Here we said it's gonna be here. This is my vertical asymptote, as you can see. Okay, so this is my vertical asymptote.